Tony Stark may already have thrown himself back into the saddle as the Iron Avenger, but are those around him ready to take the dive? Well, let's hop on into Iron Man issue number 2 and find out. Now, as we join the comic, we actually check on in with James Rhodes. He's having a horribly vivid nightmare about all the times he either died or came close to death. Spoiler alert, it was a lot of times. And what's the one factor that ties together all of these traumatic moments in his life? Oh yeah, he was wearing an Iron Man suit when it happened. Oops. In fact, the only reason Rhodey was able to cheat death at all this time was because Tony went out of his way to genetically re-engineer a body for him, and one for himself, of course. Because of that, Tony's pushing himself harder than ever before, viewing Stark Unlimited as the ultimate second chance at life. Granted, his newfound lust for life is being seen by his friends and colleagues as some manner of death wish. In the last issue, he threw himself into a fight with Fin Fang Foom, even though he had no AI to help run his armor. That's because Jocasta, the new head of robot ethics for Stark, who looks just banging in a suit by the way, says that, you know, it's cruel to keep an AI locked up in an armor. Tony is working on something else though, an AI called Motherboard that's attached to something bigger called Project Escape, but that's going to have to be tabled for a little bit because they have their next mission. While trying to find out who hacked their computers in the previous issue, they stumble upon a company called Bain that's been buying up a ton of black market Stark tech in hopes of turning it into a brand new weapon that they can sell to world governments. This weapon is called the Manticore, a transforming assault vehicle that you know, it's basically a Metal Gear. It's a goddamn Metal Gear and it's super cool. We also discover running security for Baintronics is none other than the Gauntlet, aka Sergeant Joseph Green, a character that Dan Slott created for his She-Hulk run, who would actually meet Iron Man in Avengers: The Initiative. Iron Man and War Machine show up to try and shut down the weapons buy, but it's made very clear that Rhodey was not ready to get back into his armor. He's still got some crippling PTSD going on, and that he should really not be out here right now with a superpowered individual and a crazy murder tank. For all those reasons and more, Tony and Rhodey end up getting their asses kicked into the dirt over and over again, so much to the point Rhodey has to actually evacuate his War Machine armor. This actually gives Tony a hell of an idea. If the Manticore was built with Stark tech, that means he can probably hack it, right? Which he does, ejecting its pilot. And well, because Rhodey was in the Air Force and can fly just about anything, he then hops into the Manticore and manages to turn the tide of the battle for the good guys. In fact, Rhodey does such a good job flying the Manticore, Iron Man begins to think maybe there's something to this machine. He obviously can't let it be sold on the black market, but he decides to buy it from Baintronics. And it's then heavily implied that he sleeps with the lady boss of Baintronics, so everybody really wins. In fact, Rhodey's going to keep flying the Manticore from here on out because it reminds him more of his pilot days and puts him at ease. On the flight home though, Tony ends up sharing some rather dour news with Rhodey. Well, his new genetically re-engineered body is working perfectly. Tony's not so much. He fears that there's something wrong, that he might be dying. You know, again. And then it's right there that the comic ends. So that was Tony Stark Iron Man issue number 2, everybody, and overall I really enjoyed it. I think Dan Slott is showing off here in this story just how much he's paid attention to Iron Man's continuity over the last decade. Also, while Tony Stark is very much in the lead as Iron Man, what I think is cool about this book is how it has so much time for the supporting cast. Not just Rhodey, who this issue was more about, but even Jocasta and Tony's mom get really hard-working B-plots in this story that I enjoyed quite a lot, and I can't wait to see those stories grow and mature. This is also a really nice looking issue too. The designs on all of the armor and military tech is top-notch stuff. Overall, I'd give this one another very strong 8 out of 10. I am getting so into this. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some more content from my channel? Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you're always up to speed on what I got coming out next. And hey, if you really like what I do, you could become a patron. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1 a month. And with that, everyone, I will bid you adieu, and I will be back again with more comic content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye, everyone.